Hi, I want to tell you how I entered a college in Finland or in Helsinki. I will look a lot at my MacBook because I have a script here and I cannot learn it by heart. I worked as a graphic designer for almost 7 years, and for the last 2 years I also worked as user interface designer. I did commercial illustration, social media illustration, logos, brandings, websites, a little bit of everything during these 7 years. And it always felt like I was burnt out from the beginning because already at my first job I kind of understood that it wasn't what I want to do for the biggest part of my week. It wasn't about illustrations or logos or branding or websites. It was just about the format of the job itself because the client or the product I worked for wanted me to help them sell more. And I was almost never interested in the product, not because they were bad, but just because I personally didn't need it in my life. So I couldn't relate to them. I couldn't empathize with them. And very often I felt not like a professional, but I felt like a tool that can visualize anything that the client prompts in 3 or 4 iterations. So this year I quit and I started to think when I want to move forward. I was always afraid to quit. I changed the workplace but not the profession, and I lived so that if I quit my job I will not have any money. I didn't have any funds and I would just die in hunger. But now I felt that I have support from my husband and I have a job seeker benefit in Finland. And so, yeah, this is not pretty, but this is the truth. And I have the financial aid and I have money to eat. It is less money than I could get with my salary, but at that point of my life I was just ready to give up anything just to stop doing it. I just hated what I did for 8 hours, 5 days a week. But I think enough of that. So, how to find a course and a school in Finland? I use the website called studentum.fi. There you can find the field that you're interested in, filter schools by the city, type of the school, and the possibility of distance studying. The type of school should be ammattikorkeakoulu in Finnish, which Google translates as a University of Applied Sciences, but it's not a university in traditional meaning because you're not going for a degree. You're going to study a certain profession and professional skills rather than concentrate on academic studies. I applied for a game artist course. The school will last for around 2 years and it will include group projects with the team from game coding school and internship in a real company. The course's name in Finnish is peligraafikko and it will be in Finnish, and I have no idea how I will study in Finnish. So how I entered? To start, I needed to fill in the application form and make the test assignment. The assignment was literally like to draw something on one of the three given topics. I chose the topic flaming or burning character. I will not tell what the other names of two topics were, but I will say that one was about environment design and the other was just a main theme, so I suppose it required more of a scenario rather than a certain visual. They didn't tell if it should be only one image or two images or a presentation. They told nothing, they just gave these three themes and they said that the file should be JPEGs or PNGs or PDFs. So I decided to make a PDF presentation. And I suggest you to do the same in situations like this. Oh, and the task, of course, should have been made in Finnish. I drew the first thing that came to my mind, which was the middle-aged guy who is literally on fire because of his burnout. Yeah. So I started with sketching some dudes that matched the visual vibes. Then I sketched an Asian man in suit, and this was where I stopped because I didn't really want to go any further and like overwork on this assignment. I just wanted to make it quick and easily, so I stopped. Though I tried to draw a female in the same style, in the same kind of universe, the same story goes on with her, but I stopped with this depressed 40-year-old man because he was looking more like my inner self at the point. I moved to Photoshop and make the stages of the character from happy to burned out, and in my head I already had a quick plot that the player must keep him on a neutral level and not let him burn, and to do so they must sometimes make him happy by some actions in game. I moved on to making a presentation, and for that I drew a couple more images to kind of supplement the plot of the character. And I didn't write like the whole scenario because that would be now too much work. I didn't want to put any more effort because I'm a lazy person. I made presentation on Figma. This is not an advertisement because I'm small, but I just love Figma and their presentation tool. And this is how it looked like, and I was invited on the next stage, which was the interview. There were two parts of this stage. Actually, one was the one-on-one interview with the course's coordinator, and the other one was a group assignment. Again, all in Finnish. And the interview was not stressful at all because half of the time actually the school person just described in detail what the course consists of, what tools we will be learning, what kinds of projects we will be making. Like, she gave me all the information that was not on their website in course description. So that was cool. And then she asked me some questions, very general questions on the interviews like this, like what is your studying and working background, why do you want to study on this program, do you like to play games overall, what do you want to study most, and etc. And These questions are pretty easy to prepare beforehand, but the only kind of tricky question was what are the difficulties I think I can face during studying. And I honestly said that it is a Finnish language because the group task though was very stressful to me. It is an empty room with a teacher in it and 4 potential students. And 2 of the students are from game graphic school and the other 2 are from game coding school. Together they must make a concept for a game in 20 minutes, then present it in 10 minutes, and then answer the follow-up questions. And from my point of view, it's not so important what game you are suggesting, like how good it is, but it's rather about your teamwork, how you communicate with each other, who presents it, and how you answer the questions together. So this is important to show to the teacher who is looking at your group. And I was really intimidated because in my group there were 3 people. Me as a visual designer and 2 Finnish guys that were game coders. And I was really intimidated because they were just yapping to each other, almost not looking in my direction at all. And I'm not exactly a people's person, so yeah. But one of these guys couple times asked me my opinion, so I had a chance to add a couple ideas. So that helped me a ton. And yeah, I think that part of group assignment went more or less okay. But then the teacher started asking each one of us the same questions. She asked what is important for you in teamwork and what is your motivation to study here. And we all answered and it went okay, but she asked me one extra question and I didn't understand what she said. And so I asked, sorry, what? And she repeated the question the same way she asked it the first time. So I still didn't understand it, and I just started saying some general stuff about teamwork. In her eyes, I've seen that I didn't answer her question at all, and I guess she thought that I'm some stupid bimbo girl, which is completely okay by me because I'm kind of am a bimbo girl, but it was just awkward. But anyway, I got accepted, so I guess that went well. And this is how I got to the Finnish college. The studies begin next month, and tell me if you are interested in what will be going on there, what we will be studying, what will happen, what projects we will be making, and I will just continue making videos about it. If you have any questions, I will answer them in comments, and thanks and bye.